Hey everybody, it's Bill the Mechanic yet again. Dude, I'm kind of bored today, so I'm making a bunch of stupid videos. Today's is going to be kind of cool, maybe if not. A lot of people ask me about my keychain, and I'm sick of telling people about it. So I'm going to show you. This is a piston. Yeah, I know it's surprising. It's a piston, and it holds my keys, my shop keys. And I can't tell you how many people ask about it. And they're like, man, where'd you get that? Can you buy that? No, you can't buy it. It's real. It's a real piston. It came out of a weed eater, and they don't make them. I've seen some shitty knockoff ones that are like plastic ones they sell on eBay or something, or around at like little novelty stores. But they're made out of plastic, and they're gay and stupid. So this is a kind of a cool thing too, man. This is what I used to do when I was a little kid. So I thought I'd at least show you where I got it from, obviously from a weed eater, how you can make one yourself from just stuff that people throw away. And the reason I did the video is because it just so happens last night a buddy of mine who has a landscape company dropped off a weed eater. So I mean, it fits that I got a weed eater for free. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it apart and junk it. It's the white trash superstore that I am. So check this out. This is actually a badass weed eater in its day. This is a Red Max. It's like a really nice high-end weed eater. It's just junk now. It sat outside forever, and the compression was kind of shitty. Didn't have very good compression, so it was really hard to start. Anyway, my buddy Sam, like I said, he owns a landscape company. He brought it to me, dropped it off with a bunch of other scrap, lawnmowers and shit, and it's mine now. So the point is, though, I want to show you guys, how you can get your own cool piston keychain. I've had this one for years. How you can make your own. And another thing that I was going to show you is how a weed eater works if you've never seen it. This is a weed eater. It's obviously an old one. It's an old shaft drive. It's a straight shaft. And how it basically works is you've got, a piston inside here, and this piston's going up and down, creating rotating energy. It's rotating a shaft. This is the back of it. This is where your pull cord would go if you took it, obviously, but if you had a pull cord, that's where it would go. And so it spins this, which is your crankshaft. The crankshaft runs right through the center. It's like on this piston, it'd be right there. It'd be kind of just like that, but inside the engine and inside these parts. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip it down. I'm going to take all the plastic off. I'm going to take the power head, which is this thing. I call it a power head. Take the power head off and split the shaft so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Basically, there's just a crank, and it rotates and it spins inside there, and it spins a thin spring-like metal. It's about maybe half an inch thick, and this spring-like material runs all the way through the handle, all the way through the shaft, all the way down here to the head, and it makes a 90-degree turn with two pieces of gears. It makes a 90-degree turn, and that's what spins this thing right here when you're weed eating, okay? Well, right now I'm going to break it all down, and slowly I'll show you guys what they look like on the inside, and I'll show you guys how you can make your own cool keychain for free. You can find everybody can find one of these for free. Tons of people throw them away. Your grandmother, your aunt, your uncles, whoever, neighbors. Hell, they're probably free on Craigslist. And I'm going to show you how to do it. And so now I'm going to strip it down, and I'll show you in a second. As promised, disassembled weed eater. Okay, now you can see. Oh, zoom out. Here it is. This is the power head that I talked about. This is what develops all the power. This is where your spark plug is. All I've done is taken off the gas tank and the plastic pieces. They're all empty and junky and trash. But so you can see where it's not very big. The actual assembly is not very big. So inside here, these are just cooling vents for your weed eater. It's a two-stroke weed eater, so it doesn't have lubricant, like there's no water going through it. It's just got air that cools the explosion off. Most of a combustion engine is the energy is wasted as heat. So you have to have some way to ditch the heat. Gasoline's a really weird thing, it has so much power in it, but it wastes most of it as heat. But anyway, so that's where, that's what these ridges are for, is for heat dissipation. The engine runs and spins just like this. You can kind of see the whole assembly there, just rotating just like that. And it's going to spin the shaft inside there. You can see that shaft. So as that piston's exploding, it's spinning the shaft inside there. And look at there, it just spins this little gear. And what this gear is, it's actually almost like a big cable. I'm trying to look and see if I even have one. It's a cable, kind of like that right there. See this cable? It's kind of a spring-loaded cable, just like that. And so what it does is that the engine's spinning, this cable just sits there and spins, and it spins that head. You can see the cylinder, the head there moving. Just like that. Pretty simple, man. Pretty simple, but pretty fucking cool, because weed eating sucks. And imagine if you had to do it with a sickle or a lathe or whatever they were called, scythe, back in the old days. So this is it. So now I'm going to yank it apart the rest of the way, take all this crap off, the magneto and all this kind of stuff. It's another cool little part you guys might see. Where the spark actually comes from is from right here. It's a little permanent magnet on this rotor. Right there you go. There's the plate, and as it rolls past here, it creates an electrical field that collapses, and so that's where the spark comes from, and it shoots the this is actually your coil, and so as it rolls by there, it creates a high pressure difference and shoots the gap, and spark shoots down through here as it collapses and goes into the spark plug, explodes, boom, pushes the piston down, and starts the whole crazy process over and over again. Let me cut it all the way apart and take it apart, and I'll show you guys the rest. So here we are. This is it. Trying to make one of these. I had a whole damn weed eater, and now this is all that actually powers it. This is the engine. This is the engine of a weed eater. Pretty magical, huh? This is where your pull cord would be on this side. This side right here holds the, would actually be connected to the shaft that I chucked. It's all in the trash now, but so that's basically it. Right here is your exhaust. This is where your exhaust would come out. I don't know if you guys can see, man, how nasty this is. This is a common problem. That's ash deposits. Two-strokes don't just burn straight gas. They burn gas mixed with oil. And one of the problems is you end up with ash. Even when, this thing has a lot of hours on it, but even when used in good, let's see if I can get the piston to move. Yeah, you guys can kind of see the piston in there. So anyway, even with good mix and everything like that, good ratios, you're still, with hours and hours and hours, you're going to get all this crappy carbon buildup in here, and you're going to have to clean it. That's a common problem with these little weed eater engines. They're super awesome for what they are, but they still wear out just like everything else, man. And everything that wears out, just a matter of time. So this is the intake side. You can see how clean it is. I'm trying to rotate it for you guys so you can see the piston inside there. There you go. See the piston rings? There's a piston ring. I think there's two in this one. So you can see how tight the tolerances are. Anyway, now I'm going to break it down the rest of the way and show you just the piston. So here we go. So here you go. We're almost done. Here are the parts that I told you I'd show you. There's the piston. Cranking rod, just spins just like that. It goes up and down and up and down. Pretty crazy, huh? This is the head where your spark plug would go. You can kind of see where the piston just runs up and down inside there, and then that very other hole is the spark plug hole. Pretty crazy. You can see the wear in the cylinder. Kind of cool. And this is the actual lower block of the weed eater. How it would go is like this. There's your bearings that it rotates on it right there. Shaft would just go in here like this. And this part would go like this. And of course you press it all together. Just like that. And of course your cylinder head would slide up on top of there and sit. So that's what I had for you guys just a second ago. Kind of cool if you like this kind of thing. Now to get it apart, in the olden days I just beat on it with a hammer right there, and it's just a pin. It'll press out. You can eventually beat it out with a hammer, but I've got a shop press over there, so I'm going to go over there and press it apart really quick, and then I'll have another keychain just like that one. It's pretty cool. There you go, completely apart. There's this part, crank they call it, rotating assembly. Your piston would go right in the center there, slides up like that. I went ahead and cut this in half for a cross cut just because I was bored. You can see piston just goes inside there like that, man, and just goes up and down just like that. That's how she assembles. There's the other half. Shit's pretty hard, man. It's hard to cut through that. Pretty cool, huh? Now you know.